Currently, Alabama is 13-5 on the season, 3-2 in the SEC, tied for fifth in the SEC right now. Bama needs to figure some things out, keep winning, or their seed in the NCAA could slide. Here we are. We're going to do our midseason review and report for the team. Welcome to another episode of the Bamature Hour. I am Bama John. I am joined by T-Pain Rick today. Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026 in the year of our Lord. Thank you for tuning in. We now have over 8,900 subscribers on the YouTube channel, growing, headed to 10,000. All right, Rick, there's a lot going on in Bama hoops. How about Bediako maybe suiting up for us against UT on Saturday?
Yeah, where did this come from? That's amazing. I mean, I felt like out of the blue, bam, here we are. Yeah, so I know you know what I know. I just heard that there's a restraining order, right? And you know what I heard?
Yeah, there's a restraining order. They filed suit in a
Right,
local state of, I guess it was the county court for state court, and there's a
right.
restraining order. So at least for 10 days, he gets the suit up and play. This
Yeah,
whole thing, there's a player at Baylor
Baylor.
who
Yeah.
was ruled, and even though he had played professionally and had been drafted, was ruled he could play. So then Bediako apparently is enrolled in school. And he's like, why can't I play? They
The only
filed suit, and
difference,
here we go.
the only difference I heard is that the Baylor guy did not sign a two-way contract like Bediako did. So supposedly that might throw a wrinkle in things or a kink in things. But my other question, John, is so we have a 10-day waiver, but next Tuesday they're going to rule on this, I believe, right? So I heard.
I think so, but I mean,
Yeah, I
who
heard.
knows? Who
Well,
knows?
I guess my point is, say he plays Saturday. Say
Mm-hmm.
he plays. Say we win, and then next week the NCAA says he's ineligible. Do we have to forfeit that win now? I mean, could that happen? I mean, I don't know. I just wonder.
I would think the restraint, and this is just a guess. I'm not an
Right.
attorney, so no legal advice here, but I would think that he would just be ineligible to play going forward and they wouldn't forfeit the game. But who knows? I mean, that's
Yeah.
one of the $1 million questions is if we
Yeah.
play him in 2 or 3 games, get some wins, and then they rule him ineligible, or is that going to be retroactive and we have to forfeit games? That would be bad.
I would imagine the attorneys at Alabama have already done the research on this, right?
I would think so. I would think
Yeah.
he's not going to suit up if there's any chance that we're going to have to forfeit games that he plays in, but who knows? So it's going to be interesting to see. I do think from a length standpoint, from a rim protection standpoint, from rebounding, he's going to help. We
Yeah.
need a guy like that.
I mean, even I guess he was here like 3 years ago. Even then, he was better than Noah Williamson then. So he's better now. He's been playing against NBA minor league, so he's got to be better. Probably a little bit bigger, right? Probably a little stronger. And
He's
yeah, I think
pretty
he would be.
athletic too. He's pretty athletic. He can
Yeah,
jump and run.
yeah. So I think he'd be a great five, and then Aiden Sherrell could be like a stretch four out there, and that'd be a good tandem there. I think.
Well, and I think the nice thing about Bediako is if we need two bigs, say we're playing Purdue, say we're playing Gonzaga, Michigan, where they got the bigs, we can go two bigs. And those
Yeah.
guys can get in there and protect the rim. And I don't know how good he is, like if you dump the ball into him, expecting him to have these great low post moves, but he can certainly go up and get an alley oop and do that. So you got two bigs you could play. I think he's going to be better than Bristow. He's going to be better than Taylor Ball Bowen. But then if you go small ball, you got Aiden Sherrell who can play, but when he gets tired, you can throw Bediako in. So it's definitely going to add to our depth in the front court. It'll be a welcome addition because we're struggling in the front court. Definitely one of the things we'll talk about. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's going to be fascinating, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of impact he has. UT's kind of struggling, but Rick Barnes is a great coach, so I'm expecting him to come out with, their hair on fire. I'm expecting him to come out, push and shove. So having that extra big body that's athletic, because I mean, Noah Williamson, he's just not that athletic. He's just kind of plodding and slow. And I think, unfortunately, we've seen what we're going to get from him, and it's just not a whole lot. So Bediako will help if we get him for the rest of the season, which is a big if.
Yeah. This Saturday we play Tennessee, as you said, and if the refs are holding their whistles in the first 4 minutes, it might be a long night for us because Tennessee, they're big and strong. They can push us around. So I'm kind of hoping for a tightly called game just because Otherwise, man, I saw them play the other night. They all look like weightlifters compared to our guys. So, yeah, it'll be some pushing and shoving going on for sure.
Well, we're definitely going to have to keep the ball moving. We can't let them just lull us into this half court where we try to go 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 1-on-3. Keep the ball moving, drive to the basket, but don't take it up against three guys. Holloway particularly thinks he's about 6'8", and he goes up in there in the trees and gets his shot blocked or turns the ball over or just shoots up a bad garbage shot. He's very effective when he pulls up in the mid-range or when he drives and then dishes and keeps the ball moving. To me, Philon's the only player we have, and I still don't like it when he goes 1-on-3, but he can create his shot. Pretty much he's unguardable 1-on-1, but he's really the only player we have that can do that. So we got to keep the ball moving, run it, high-paced offense. Don't get lulled into their – because they want to play the half court. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's because Philon is the only NBA ready guard we have, and so that's why I think he's able to get his own shot and he doesn't lose control. He's kind of a kind of a conundrum in the sense that it doesn't look like he's moving fast, but he still is able to get through the lane. He's under control through the lane. Yeah, and able unlike Mark last year, he would go in like a bull in a china shop, and sometimes he get a shot off, sometimes he get blocked. But Philon just is a smooth operator.
Well, and he's got that quickness when he needs it. So it kind of lulls you to sleep. He's slow, and then
Uh,
boom, he's got that burst, turn the corner, pull up. And his game has gone to a whole new level this year. I mean,
yeah,
last year he would have games where he'd have 4 or 5 points, and you're like, where is he? And then he'd have 20 points, but he was
right.
real inconsistent. A bad night for him this year is 15 points.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
And to me, you can count on him for 20 points a night. I mean, just mark it down. Really good game is 28 to 30 points. But he is the head of the snake. He is the leader of this team. I have confidence in him. I think sometimes on defense he rests a little too much, and I think he loses his defensive intensity. And to me, he needs to rest on offense, not defense, because we need that fire and intensity, him getting turnovers, moving his feet. But he's phenomenal. He's a top 15 draft pick for sure. He's the only guy on our team that I can say is NBA ready. Nobody else on our team's NBA ready.
you think there's no chance he comes back?
No chance.
Yeah,
He's done.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
gone. I mean, he's going to be a top 15 pick. He's got to go.
yeah. Oh yeah. If he's top 15, yeah, for sure. I think the next guy ready for the NBA, he's not ready now, but is Amari Allen. I think he's going to be an NBA player. He plays hard, good defender, and that translates well to the NBA. You saw Herb Jones. He's a good defender. He plays with heart, man. He plays with passion, and he's got a good shot, and it's getting better too. So, yeah, he'll be the next guy. I think he'll come back next year, but we'll
He's
see.
not NBA ready. I agree with you. He is what I want to call this year. He's a 3-and-D guy. He can
Yeah,
play from the wing. Boy, he stuffs the stat sheet. He'll get 5 assists. He'll get 9 rebounds. He'll get 12, 13, 14 points. He'll get steals, blocks. He is that all-around guy that – so I really noted – I put Labaron Philon. He is the leader. He's the star. And then I call these guys the three amigos. So hear me out on this. I put Aiden Sherrell, I put Amari Allen, and Aiden Holloway. Those are the three amigos. Those are our other core players. But other than that, it's kind of like who's our fifth player? Who's our sixth player? I think there's a real question mark about who that next guys are that contribute. Those are the four players that I have confidence in when they're playing well, when they're playing smart. And Holloway to me is more of a question mark because he plays out of control. Sometimes he forgets to pass the ball because I think he wants to be Philon sometimes, and he's not.
yeah.
He needs to be the best version of himself and not try to mimic Philon.
Yeah, I think where you said earlier, Philon, a bad night's 15, a good night's 30. I think Holloway's about bad nights 8 to 10, good nights 20, 25. He has a wider swing, which is okay. But we love those people who like Philon, who even a bad night, he's going to be decent, really good. But yeah, Holloway can disappear, in a bad game.
I think he can disappear because either he doesn't want to force it at all and he's not being aggressive, or he's being so aggressive he's turning the ball over, getting his shot blocked. And I think some of it is he's got to keep moving on offense, because if he keeps moving and we move the ball, he's going to get open looks, and we know he can knock down open looks. If he gets open looks, and he's good in the mid range, if he'll pull up in the mid range instead of taking it all the way to the rack and getting his shot blocked, he's really good there. So I think some of it, and Philon just, it's like you won't even notice it, and all of a sudden he's got 10 points. It's like he scores so easily, so effortlessly this year. And his shooting from three, it's like, I think he had 2 games where he couldn't hit a three. But other than that, he just seems to be stroking at a 40% clip and just scores so easily from all 3 levels.
Yeah. Good free throw shooter, too. I don't know his stat. He's a good shooter.
No, all the way around. His shooting is, so you can tell he put the hours in the gym this summer, and he put the hours in working on his moves, because he's so smooth this year. So, whereas I agree with you that Allen has a ton of upside. To me, Allen, I'm not confident in his moves, like him driving to the basket and having a move like, even Holloway has some good moves as long as he doesn't have a 6'7" or 6'8" guy. He can make some moves and hit a step back or do stuff. I think Allen's got to develop that over this coming summer. I don't think he's going to get a whole lot better with his moves, but he plays so hard. He gets rebounds. He's all over the place, and he can hit open threes, which I love. But you dump into the post, and I'm not sure how easily he's going to score when he gets in there. But still, he's one of our 4 best. And then Sherrell, he's been hitting open threes, which is great. Shot block, rim protector, and he's rebounding well. Now, I think because he's shot blocking and having to protect the rim, that opens up for someone like Holloway. I mean, not Holloway, for Allen, Philon, Mallette to go and get rebounds. And when we gain rebound, we're doing well. But, to me, those are our 4 core guys, but we need somebody else to step up and be that 5th guy if we want to make a run to the Final Four. So, further thoughts about the 3 amigos or Labaron Philon as we just talk about the development of this team and who we can count on.
No, I agree. Those are the 4 central characters, I think, on the team. Yeah, and I think Amari, I've seen him a few times. He's better without the ball on offense than he is with the ball. He kind of gets out of control, and you're right. He'll have to work on that in the off season. But yeah, everything else he's doing is great. His shots getting better. He moves really well. He plays hard. He defends well. He gets rebounds. Like you said, he just stuffs the stat sheet. He's like a better version of Mohamed Diabate.
Yeah, no doubt. And we've mentioned that before, that I'm happy, given how much Kentucky has paid Mohamed Diabate to go there. I mean, Amari Allen's a bargain. Come in as a freshman, and we probably didn't have to pay him a ton of NIL money. We will next year to keep him, because if he stays here, believe me, he's going to be in demand.
That's right.
So they'll have to pony up to keep him. And but I love the guy. I think he's great. He's one of my favorite. I just love everything he does. He's on the floor. He rebounds. He plays defense. He just plays hard all the time and effectively.
But yeah, he was the least, I think, talked about celebrated freshman, but he's the best one.
No doubt.
Coming in, yeah. Yeah, who's next? Who's the next and most important guy right now? I guess maybe Houston Mallette, right?
Well, and I was going to ask you about that because – London Jemison's had some good games, and then, he'll disappear. He's kind of like not as good as Philon, but it's kind of like Philon last year. You don't know what you're going to get game from game. He can hit some threes. He plays hard. I like that. And I certainly think I call Houston Mallette solid.
Yeah. But
he's had a couple of games where he's disappeared. It's like, I don't know whether he was hurt or he just couldn't get in the flow of the game. But to me, whereas I count on Philon to get an easy 20, Mallette seems like he's an easy 10, an easy 11, 4 rebounds. But I don't know. And then Taylor Ball Bowen, his length. He was really I don't know if you remember in the Texas game, Trevon Marks went off against us in the first half in that Texas game. And then they put Taylor Ball Bowen on him, and his length and defense but he's got a hurt wrist. So he's, ineffective because he's playing one-handed, but he can be effective. Keitenn Bristow has a hurt ankle. So we haven't seen the best of him in a while. I was excited about him. So I'm really waiting to see who can get healthy, who we can count on night in and night out. Because I know Mallette plays hard. I know he can hit open shots, but again, I don't know. I don't know who we can count on in that next group of people. Wrightsell's hurt, so we don't know. I was hoping he would bounce back more, but he still seems to be off and on injured, so we don't know. So I don't know who that fifth guy is.
And Bethea just isn't. I don't know. Bethea is not what I thought he might be.
Is he in the doghouse?
I don't know.
He's not getting minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
do you think he's getting harassed by Oates in practice for not playing hard enough on defense, for not rebounding, maybe turning the ball over? Because he'll play like 6 minutes and have 7 points and have like 3 rebounds. And I'm like, if you extrapolate that out to 20 minutes, I mean, he can really contribute. He's a McDonald's All-American. He's a 5-star, but there's something there that Oates won't give him the minutes, and he'll be productive in a little bit of spurt. But I think he's the guy that I'd love to see elevate to what I think he can be, because I think he could be that fifth guy because he's more athletic. He can shoot the ball, but there's something missing. He's in Nate Oates' doghouse, I think.
You don't think he's on maybe a medical minute restriction, do you? I mean, because he always plays about 6 or 7 minutes a game. I wonder if there's something there. I don't know.
I mean, is he not doing enough in practice? What's going on? But he just doesn't seem to get the run, the minutes. And I don't get it, because I think there's a lot there. And I really wish prior to the SEC, they would have given him more minutes to see if he could work himself in, because he's got tremendous upside. Now, that's a guy that if he comes back and doesn't produce this year and we can get him back in next year, he could really elevate that second year in Nate Oates' program. But it would be big, because he can shoot the three. He can drive to the basket. He's got moves. Maybe he has to earn his minutes by playing better defense and hitting the boards hard to show that he's willing to do the little things, and then let him play. But something's going on there between him and Oates is my theory.
Yeah, maybe.
And then Noah, I mean,
just – I mean, he had one game, didn't he, against Kentucky, I think.
He did. And it's just kind of, I mean, that's a one-off. I'd like to see him do that. I mean, I'd like to know we could get 8 points and 5 rebounds from him every game out of 15 minutes. I mean, that would be big.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
It's just not there. But if Bediako comes and we get him for the rest of the season, I won't really care.
I know. And then Davion Hannah, I don't know how long he's out.
I've heard he may redshirt.
Okay.
I've heard that his injury, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. So, okay, here we are. We're at 3-2 in the SEC, 13-5 on the season. Right now, we're in a position to be a 3 seed, 4 seed, 5 seed, somewhere in that range, which is good. I mean, you really want to be a 2 seed or a 3 seed at a minimum. We're tied for 5th right now in the SEC. We got to keep winning. I mean, we got to stack wins. We got to try to get to 12, 13 wins in the SEC, and I think we'll be in good shape. It's interesting. If you look at the top of the SEC, Bucky McMillan.
Already. It's amazing.
And you know who's playing with them? Ryler Griffin.
Yeah, saw that.
I mean, talk about a 3-and-D guy. Right. I mean, I guess it was a money issue when he left, but he would really help this team.
Yeah, he would. So, yeah, I mean, you had Florida, which is not surprising, right?
Well, actually, to me, here's why I'll say Florida is surprising, because all their front court came back, but they lost all those great guards. They went to the NBA or they transferred, so they had a whole new fleet of guards. So they got Boogie Flan from Arkansas, former 5-star, but he's very inconsistent in Arkansas last year. And then they got this kid, 5th-year player, Davion Lee from Princeton, who everybody was all about. Well, he's shooting like 20% from 3, and he's not producing. So their guard play was really bad. So they lost 4 games in the preseason, and then all of a sudden Davion Lee's caught fire. And Boogie Flan's playing better, so those guards are starting to elevate. But Florida's going to sink or swim on what those two guys do, because their front court's really, really good. But that's the key there is, can Davion Lee deliver at point guard and shoot the ball well in and game out? He went to Vanderbilt and had his best game of the season, had 20-something points and really, played well there. And Boogie Flan he's up and down. He's kind of like Philon was last year. He'll put up 20 points in one game, off 5 in the next. But that's the deal with Florida, is their guards are inconsistent. They can be had.
Right. Well, I just noticed, I haven't been keeping up. Vanderbilt, they were undefeated. Now that they lost 3 in a row or something? What?
Yeah, they lost. They lost at Texas.
Florida.
They lost to Florida, and they lost pretty badly at Arkansas.
I mean, man, when we played on Philon, didn't play the whole second half. So
Right, and Sherrell didn't play at all.
yeah, so I
So
think
so we were we were without our best guns, and I mean, let's face it, we're a different team without Philon.
right. I mean, John, I think we probably win that game if we're healthy, and we're the second. We're number 2 in the SEC right now. So
So
it's
do you think Philon maybe had the flu or something? Why was he cramping in there? I understand the gym was really, really hot. I had a
right.
good friend that was at the game, and he said,
Yeah.
"Man, it's hot as Hades in here." He's like, "It's unbelievable how hot it was." But I mean, do you think that really he just didn't hydrate enough, didn't have enough electrolytes in him,
I just
or
find that surprising because they practice every day. They play. Yeah, I don't understand. Maybe we did not get the full story there. I don't know.
and maybe he needs to do a better job, and they need to do a better job of loading him up with electrolytes pregame and at halftime. I don't know. They took him in and gave him I think they gave him an IV when our good friend Craig took him back there to tend to him. But I mean, he was done once he cramped up like that. He was done. He was out of the game, and I knew we weren't going to win that game once he went out.
Yeah, I don't think it was. It can't just be normal cramps because, like, he's played in the SEC tournament, which is day in, day out. Played March Madness. I mean, I just think that was something else going on. Yeah, maybe he was sick a few days before and got dehydrated, and wasn't replenishing like he should have been. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But look at the next 2 games we have Tennessee at home, right? Then we have Missouri at home. So we should be 5-2, right?
Yeah, and that'd be huge. That
They're
would be
huge,
big.
huge. Then we go to Florida. I mean, you have to count that a loss. We can beat them, but
Right,
I would
right. And
say,
all that. See, we've got strengths where they have weaknesses, and they have strengths where we have weaknesses. So our guards could give them trouble, and if we can do that, then maybe that'll help. And
right.
Maybe we can compete better against their bigs. But it's going to be really good on good, or it's going to be their good on our bad, and our good on their bad.
Yeah.
So that's going to tell us a lot too. If we can go down and win at Florida, that'll be a huge win.
Well, that 3-game stretch at Florida, A&M at home, at Auburn, that's a tough stretch there.
Well, and how good is Auburn?
Yeah, I don't know.
Auburn's sitting at 3-3. Uh, Stevens no Bruce.
Hmm.
He's doing decently well. I mean, that's really hard to take over for your dad and go in there and try to run that program after what Bruce Pearl had built it up. But I mean, let's face it. You got to give Nate Oates the coaching edge. We've won at
Yeah,
Auburn before. We can go down
right.
there and do that. I'm not that scared of them. I'm a lot more worried about. Well, I mean, again, we get Texas A&M here, so that's good that we get them coming here. Um, that'll be interesting buckyball because Nate Oates loves to go up and down the court, and they're playing that way. I'm fascinated by that game.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be a good atmosphere. LSU's not even on here. I guess they're at the very bottom.
They are, yeah. The Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and LSU are kind of bottom of the barrel. They're the dregs of the league. So, so far so good there. But the rest of the teams are all pretty. There's no great team in the SEC. I will state that. Last year we were loaded. We got 2 in the Final Four. We got 4 in the Elite Eight, or 3 in the Elite Eight. There is no great SEC team this year. I think one could make the Final Four. I would be shocked if one of the SEC teams cuts the nets down. I'm just giving you my honest opinion,
Yeah.
unless you beg to differ there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've already seen some good teams this year, and I mean, like you said, unless Charles Bediako helps us turn the corner, or we get healthy with Bristow and he plays like he did in that first game when he came in against Illinois, he looked like a
Yeah,
man on fire. So I don't know, but looking at the schedule, I kind of have us at 13 wins in the conference, and I think that'd get us into second or third place in the conference, and then, yeah, I still think we might have a shot at a 2 seed. We'll see. We'll see.
I think if we're going to do that, yeah, we'll need at least 13 wins in the conference. We need to at least get to the SEC finals. I think if we get to
Yeah.
the SEC finals and go at least get 13 wins in the SEC, we got a good shot for a 2 seed. Certainly 3 and 4, we should be no worse than a 4 seed unless we end up, I don't know, 9 and 9, 10 and 8. That's going to hurt us if we want to get better than a 4 seed. But We just can't have a letdown like. And I will say this about Texas. Texas kind of caught fire when they came in. Sean Miller is a really good coach. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He got his team's attention. They'd just been blown out. They came in here and they were fired up, and they've got some players. And he had
Right.
them playing, and we just got in that hole a couple of times where we just lost intensity. We weren't moving the ball, playing stupid, turning the ball over, and we got in too big of a hole, and they just closed us out.
Yeah. I was out of town that game. I didn't really see it. So, hey, so Florida, it says Florida, they're 5-1 in the conference, and
Yes,
they're on a 5-game winning streak. So they lost their first game. Do you remember who beat them? First
I,
SEC game?
I do not remember
Yeah,
who beat them,
I
but
did not remember
yeah,
either.
they're on fire. I mean, they're clicking right now. They have a really Todd Golden's a good coach. Won a national championship last year, but it's really those two guards that's going to determine how far they go, both in the SEC and how far they go in the tournament. Is can those guards and you're just not going to replace those three guards they had last year that were so clutch, so good. Senior players really could shoot the ball, athletic, could shoot the ball under pressure too.
Right.
Um, but Boogie Flan's got a lot of potential. Xavier Lee's a fifth-year senior, but they're just not quite the same as like Walter Clayton Jr. and
Right.
Aberdeen and those guys, Martin. So I'm not sure Florida's going to finish at the top of the standings, but again, there's no great team.
You're right. And so there's not a great team like in Arizona or Purdue we played earlier this year. So when I look at the schedule, I think every game's winnable. It really is,
I
especially
agree.
if Wrightsell's healthy and who knows, Bediako or whoever. But I just think if Wrightsell's healthy, if we're healthy, we could win every game. We could. And so who knows, man? But we'll see.
All right. So a couple other things that I just want to bring up here. So the big man issue with Nate Oates. What is it? What number one, he doesn't seem to be able to recruit the best. He can get guards and wings, and he can go get Brandon Millers and Labaron Philons, Amari Allens. We can't get a Cooper Flag. We can't get, just name them, Zach Eady's, whoever you want to throw out there that are the great big men. We just can't seem to get those guys in. Chet Holmgren's. We don't seem to be able to get them in the door, and I'm not sure we're just not paying enough money. If that's part of it, is just the NIL budget, we can't afford to pay $2 million to bring a player in, whatever it is. And then the development of big men. To me, that is Nate Oates' kryptonite right now, is his ability to get them in, develop them. And I've never really seen our big men develop like our guards and our wings do, and just go from good to NBA caliber big men with those low post moves, ability to do that. So, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't understand it unless he's not going after them in the first place, or he doesn't value that position, or like you said, the money he does have, he spread it out so thinly between the guards because he has so many of those that he didn't have the money to get one. I don't know, but then you still wonder, even if you get a 3-star big man in here, why does he not get better? Why does he
Right.
not get better? And so, um,
Do
I
you
don't know.
agree with that we don't see the development of the big men like we do other players? Maybe Sherrell's developed a little bit. I think he's gotten better.
Yeah, he's gotten a little better, but you're right. I mean, I think they're kind of when they get here, that's how they look when they finish the big men, and I think honestly, John, I don't know. I feel like at practice they're doing what you see in the game. They're just shooting threes a lot, so it's kind of hard to develop post moves when your offense never flows through there, and that's
But
all I
when
can
you
think.
dump the ball in, you got to be able to score. When you get the ball at 5 feet, you got to have a hook shot, a turnaround jumper, or something. Use the backboard to be able to score. And I mean, is it as simple as he needs to go hire a big man coach,
I
and
know. I
and, and
just
he needs to focus on the big man, have some just positional time where the coach of the big man takes the big men and they work on those post moves, feeding the post and then scoring and defending and doing all that.
He definitely needs to do that, but like, he has Erwin Dudley over there who played the big man, who's great in SEC. He's on the staff. I just think in practice they don't value that position a whole lot. And so, I mean, Dudley right now, our coach, the assistant coach, could play and be effective post big man, a big man. But so I know he knows it. I know he can teach it. I just don't think they're spending the time on it because, but I do think, like you said, Aiden Sherrell is getting better. So I don't know. I'm confused. I don't understand. But
And to
if
me,
you're
that's
not,
what's going to stop him from winning a national championship. Is he
yeah,
isn't going to win a national championship till he gets a high level. Like, look at Florida, all those posts they had. They had the threes and the post. He needs to look
right.
at the difference between Alabama, where we were last year, and where Florida was. They had both. Florida plays, they like to play a similar style to us, but they're not afraid to throw it into the post and let them score. And then if you get doubled, kick it out, which is perfect for our three shooters.
I mean, I feel like, John, we could go to Europe and find one big man at a value who can play basketball.
All right, I'm going to throw it out here. I hadn't said them yet. Carolina, have you seen Henry Vasar that we got from Arizona? 7'1", 3-point shooting, 7'1" player. He wasn't even starting at Arizona. Watch him play. He can score in the post. He's got the post moves. He can shoot from the three. He would be perfect for Nate Oates' system. Perfect. And he's long. He can protect the rim.
Hey, we're one guy like that away from being a national championship contender.
Yeah. If we had that one kind of player, we'd go all the way. That's
Right.
the weakness. But maybe
I don't know.
Bediako's developed a 3-point shot.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. I doubt it. Yeah.
All right. So here we are, 13-5, 3-2. It's been a good season. It hadn't been great. It's been good. I've seen really good things. I've seen weaknesses. I've seen the things that are going to prevent us from winning a national championship. I will be shocked if we win a national championship this year. I will be surprised if we make the Final Four. I will not be surprised if we make the Elite Eight. I think we're a Sweet 16, Elite Eight caliber team. Things fell right. I think we can make the Final Four. I'd be shocked if we won it all. That's kind of my take right now. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. And we talked about this before. I mean, unless, again, I don't know, unless the one guy on the bench from Africa is amazing when he takes his street clothes off, or Bediako is amazing. I don't know, but yeah, I just think that if we get a good draw, and because every draw is going to have one team in there, uh, like in Arizona or
Yeah, Arizona, Gonzaga, Michigan.
yeah, Michigan,
Those three
Purdue.
teams all have
Yeah.
Purdue. They all have big dudes.
Yeah, so maybe, I mean, we'd have to have a lot of luck. I mean, every team that wins the national title has some luck involved. So one or two of those teams would have to get knocked off by another team, and
Or we
and
just have one of those nights where we can't miss.
right. So, but the problem is if we play more than one of those teams, I just don't think we're going to make it. So, we'd have to get lucky, and yeah, I think that Elite Eight's the ceiling. I really do. I don't know how you could get through the Elite Eight without post play. So
Well, and if we somehow win that, because you'll probably play a number one seed with post players, you'll win that one. Then the next game, you're going to see it all over again.
and then the next game. So it's
Right,
like
right. Yeah.
yeah,
Boom, boom, boom.
yeah. So I
We
think you're
can
going to
win
play
one. We can beat them one time. I don't think we can go three in a row. I don't think we can go
right.
Elite Eight, Final Four, and win a natty against all those big guys. That's going to be our kryptonite.
Yeah,
Now,
I think
let me throw a wild card in there. What
all
if
right.
Jalil Bethea all of a sudden in the last month of the season comes out and hitting 15 points a game, and he becomes Labaron Philon Part 2, and then you get the three-headed monster of Bethea, Philon, and Holloway, and then you throw Amari, Allen, Sherrell, and all that.
Or Wrightsell. What if Wrightsell comes back?
Wrightsell gets healthy, yeah.
I mean, we could be unstoppable if Wrightsell came back to his form from last year.
Or
And
2
then
years ago. 2
2
years ago.
yeah, 2
Yeah,
years ago.
2 years ago. He was
And
really good.
if Bethea became a 15 kind of point guy, I mean, then I don't care who you are, it's gonna be hard to beat us. But
Yeah.
uh, that's like if ifs and buts are candy and nuts and Christmas all year long. I don't know, but we'll see.
We're going to be fun to watch in the NCAA tournament. I do think we're a top 4 seed team in the tournament. I like that. I believe in Nate Oates as a really good coach. I just think the big man thing is his kryptonite right now. He's got to solve that if he wants to do it. All right, now I'm going to throw out a different thing. So we need to be rooting for North Carolina to do well down the stretch and make the tournament, and we need to root for Kentucky to do well and make the tournament, and here's why. Because if they peter off, and Kentucky fires Pope, or North Carolina peters off and Davis gets fired, guess who's coming for Nate Oates?
Both of them.
And they're both on the hot seat.
I can't believe Pope's already on the hot seat.
Well, all those games that he's lost, I mean, all of a sudden they're starting to win, and they're battling Texas right now as we speak. But and they had a 5-6 point lead when I came in here. But Kentucky spent $22 million. We spent 12, and they're mad that they're not getting the return on investment. And North Carolina is sick of making the tournament one year, not making the tournament the next. And we expect to make the tournament every year, given that there's 68 teams or more that are making it. And we saw Hubert Davis have a great season and go to the beat Duke in the Final Four, but then the next year they did terrible, and then the next year Alabama beats them in the Sweet 16. So those guys are on the hot seat, and I can't imagine if they fire their coaches, they're not coming after Nate Oates. If you're Nate Oates, what do you want to be at the elite program? Because they're going to have a higher budget. They got a bigger arena. They got everything you want. They got 20,000 seat arenas and the practice arenas and all that. So that's why we got to root for North Carolina to do pretty well in Kentucky so that Nate will stay here.
Yeah. You said 12 million and 22 million. Are you referring to NIL money or what?
Yeah. My understanding is Kentucky spent 22 million on their roster. And Alabama's is about 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big difference. Big difference.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. I mean, the Big Blue, the Blue Misters are going to pour money into basketball. You know that. That. They're all about it.
It's just amazing how, if those numbers are accurate, they've almost doubled our money and they're not that good. That's crazy.
Well, that means that they didn't get the right players.
Yeah.
They overpaid for Mo D. Thank you very much. I like Amari Allen better. You can have him.
Yeah, is there a Kurt Signetti in basketball this year? Is it A&M maybe or?
Yeah, Bucky McMillan's got to be the Signetti. I mean, that's it, don't you think?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're gonna find out real soon.
Well, I'm enjoying the season. A few little hiccups. The Vanderbilt game was tough to watch that with Sherrell and the injuries. We just cannot seem to get all our guys healthy. I'm hoping with the bye game this week and them having from Saturday to this Saturday off that we'll be in much better shape health wise. And then Bediako coming. Let's hope he can win in court because we need him.
Is Tennessee playing tonight or?
I know. No, I think they've got a game this week, but I'm not sure who they're playing. I didn't really look. I didn't pay attention to the schedule.
I'm hoping they're not very rested. So we'll see.
All right, final thoughts as we kind of wrap up this mid-season report and look. I feel good about the season. I don't feel stupendous, but I feel really good. I know we have a good team. I know Nate Oates is the best coach that Alabama's ever had in basketball. And I know he's one of the 10 best coaches in college basketball, if not one of the 5 best.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy from I guess I'd give the whole situation basketball program in Alabama an A. I think we're in good hands. We're in a good place. My 2 criticisms, as we've discussed many times, are big men and development thereof, and also timeouts and
out of bounds plays.
I mean, that I just don't, those 2 things. I'm like, Nate, you're too good a coach to not have that shored up. I mean, why can we not have some inbounds plays that lead to points? I don't know. That's frustrating, but anyway. But that we're I'm really being picky here because, I mean, listen, it wasn't that long ago, John, as you remember, where we're always a bubble team, and now we're not. That's nice.
Yeah, and I think barring injuries and something weird, we don't have to worry about the bubble. We're just playing for seeding. That's my opinion. I think we're going to get 12, 13, 14 wins in the conference. We're playing for seeding, and it'd be really nice to get a 3 or a 2 seed at a minimum.
I mean, I think based on our preseason schedule and the difficulty thereof, if we go 500 in the conference, I think we're going to the tournament.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, there's 9 and 9 or better. We're going, but we need to get 12, 13 wins.
Yeah,
I think 12 is kind of the minimum. But we ought to be able to do that. We got the team.
And I haven't asked, how's North Carolina doing? Are they on the bubble? Are they going to go this year or what?
Well, they've lost 3 games in a row. They came in 12-1 in the preseason, and they lost. They lost at SMU, they lost at Stanford, and they lost at California. And it's like, what are we doing? Those are not great teams. So, going on the road. And so people were getting pretty mad. And we've got the opposite problem of Alabama. We've got great front court. We have a freshman who's averaging 19 and 10. He scored 20 or more in 13 games this year. If he gets one more 20-point game, he'll be tied at, all the great North Carolina players. He'll be tied for first with most 20-point games as a freshman in North Carolina. He's going to be a top 5 pick. He's got all the moves. He can shoot from any range. He's quick. He's got everything. And then Vasar, who I already told you about, 7'1", stretch 5, who can also play in the post, rebound, block, shot. So we've got the front court, plus Jaron Stevenson. We got 6'11" Jaron Stevenson running around. We just are having the guard problems, and we've got to get our guard play right. So if you could put North Carolina together with Alabama, they would cut the nets down easily.
Who's the coach? If you put them together, what coach is it?
Oh, Nate Oates.
Yeah.
Nate Oates for sure.
So is Jaron Stevenson going to go pro? Is he good enough this year?
No.
Okay.
He's a good college player. He's not great. For being 6'11" and his athleticism, there's just something that doesn't click. He just doesn't he doesn't score easily. I don't know. It just doesn't all kind of add up.
I thought he was going to be a Noah Clowney clone, but apparently he's not.
No, he's not as good as Clowney.
Yeah.
But he's young. Remember, he came here. So even though I guess it's his third year.
Third year, yeah.
Yeah, it's his fourth year.
Is it really?
Is it his? Okay. No, did he leave after his freshman year?
Yeah, he did. Freshman year.
Okay, so it's his third year, but he's only like 19.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, he'll be around for a fourth year.
Maybe he'll get 7 years like all the other people are getting in this. Well, it's been fun, man. Roll Tide. Let's go. I'm ready.
Let's go. All right, that's it for now. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, follow, hit the notify button wherever you access the podcast. God bless and Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Bediako.